talaga na pag na-impeach ang isang impeachable officer or official?
But well, it simply means na ang House of Representatives filed what we refer to as articles of impeachment with the Senate, no? Which according to our constitution, saligang batas natin, is the one going to hear and decide the articles of impeachment. It will hear, receive evidence, no, from both sides, and then eventually vote, no, on each of the articles specified in the articles of impeachment. No? Pagbobotohan nila yan eventually.
Mm.
After everything is in. Impeach does not necessarily mean conviction. So the judgment of the Senate after the hearing, receiving evidence from both sides, will be the basis of a judgment whether to remove the vice president in this case that we are talking about, or acquit her of the charges based on the articles of impeachment.
Mm. Base po sa karanasan ninyo, no? Tsaka base sa nature ng isang impeachment trial, gaano po ba kadali o kahirap mag-convict ng isang impeached official sa isang impeachment court?
Well, while we look at the impeachment process as constitutionally, of course, enshrined based on the Constitution, no? And more of a legal process, it is to us based on at least my experience. I can speak for myself. More a political exercise, a lawful one, and therefore uh, politics will play a vital role in the ultimate conviction or acquittal of the officer impeached. No? So in this case, VP Sara Duterte. So uh, the difficulty, if at all, will be on the part of the each senator in weighing the evidence, whether or not the prosecution was able to prove each of I understand 7 articles, no, of impeachment, and whether or not there is basis therefore for him or her to vote for conviction, or the prosecution, meaning prosecutor, congressmen or congresswomen, uh, uh, were not able to prove even by substantial evidence the charges set forth in the articles of impeachment.
Okay. Nabanggit niyo yung yung mga ebidensya presenta ng prosecution. Sa mga viewers natin na magiging prosecutor po rito ay yung mga kongresista, yung miyembro ng House of Representatives, at meron silang 11 o 11 miyembro. Kaya ano po ba yung standard na ginagamit ng mga o dapat gamitin ng mga impeachment judges o yung mga senator judges dun sa pag-weigh ng evidence? Kailangan ba proof beyond reasonable doubt? Anong klaseng standard?
I read at least for the first time the revised rules, no, of the Senate on impeachment, and nothing is indicated there. Nothing is set forth. Walang nakalagay kung ano ang pwedeng pagbatayan ng bawat isa sa kanilang pagboto. And the only change that, which I appreciate notably, no, in the revised rules of procedure on impeachment cases of the Senate, is yung may provision that for each article, okay, there must be voting per senator. Kasi
okay.
before that did not happen to us. I
Lahat
mean,
na, no?
yeah, wala. Lahat parang topo-topo yung nangyari, no? Tawagin ka, anong boto mo, guilty or not guilty, and then that's it, without specifying on which article you were voting or you are voting. So that's a big change as far as I'm concerned. But as to ano yung standard of proof na pagbabatayan ng bawat isa, whether prima facie evidence, or proof beyond reasonable doubt or clear and convincing evidence has not been set forth in the revised procedure. That is what is missing. I was trying to look for it. I did not find anything. I hope I have the right copy of the
Mm.
revised rules of the Senate.
Pero pag ganun, base sa karanasan ninyo, since ang isang gustong tanggalin sa posisyon ay mataas sa opisyal ng gobyerno, ano ba dapat yung standard of proof na ginagamit?
Well, if I follow the logic, then if I heard her right, no, for the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago was a proponent of clear and convincing evidence. Kasi it cannot be naman proof beyond reasonable doubt, which is
Mm.
the standard of proof required in criminal cases for purposes of convicting a person accused of committing a crime. Hindi naman pwedeng preponderance of evidence lang. That will only be in civil actions, no? Or substantial evidence, which will be in administrative uh, uh, actions. No? So I think hers was the most logical and plausible, feasible, standard of proof. Though the rules of court do not recognize that per se. What the
Mm.
rules recognize is proof beyond reasonable doubt, preponderance of evidence, and substantial evidence.
Mm. Pero dito 'di ba ina-adapt din? I remember nung huling impeachment trial ng 2012, ina-adapt din yung ano 'no, yung rules of court in a
Yes,
way doon sa isang impeachment court.
that's what I heard actually during the Kapihan interview of uh, Senate President Jesus Escudero. He was saying that the rules of court, uh, you know, apply suppletorily to the rules of impeachment, and that will mean even the rules and evidence uh, that are there in the rules of court will be followed. So I think the ultimate issue there for a senator to be able to enable him or her to vote is the credibility of the witness and the credibility of the testimony. So, fundamental in a proceeding where a witness is testifying or presenting a documentary evidence na kinakailangan the witness is credible, but not only that, his or her testimony must also be credible. So two things to consider. For evidence to be credible, the witness must not only be credible, but the testimony of the witness must be credible.
Mm.
Kapani-paniwala pa. So yun ang
Mm.
magiging batayan dyan. That's why yung just madagdagan ko lang, Christian, if I may, ang binanggit kanina ni Senate President Jesus Escudero, that's why they're having the pre-trial because they're adapting that part of the proceedings, uh, which is actually true in civil actions and in criminal actions, uh, the rules of court on pre-trial. So
Mm.
the purpose there is actually to expedite uh, the process of impeachment, limiting the issues, naming the testimony, the trial dates, and as I said earlier, the submission of judicial affidavits.
Papaano attorney kung yung pre-trial basically sabi niyo nga mapapabilis yung proseso especially given this context na hindi gano'n kahaba yung oras na meron sila. Pero hindi ibig sabihin bawal diyan yung mga surprise witnesses.
Yes, they have to. That was emphasized very, very clearly by the Senate President. No? Kanyang binanggit yung when the uh, judicial affidavit of a particular witness was not submitted for purposes of the pre-trial, he or she will already be barred from testifying. He or
Mm.
she can be called either by either party, whether the prosecution or the defense anymore. So the
Mm.
submission of the judicial affidavit with the witness is an imperative as far as the Senate President is concerned. And I would like to think that as far as the Senate is sitting as an impeachment court is concerned.
Mm. Paano pag ganyan, kunwari in the middle of trial, talagang pinag-uusapan yung mga accusations, biglang nag-volunteer ang isang witness, sinasabi, ako yan, ano lang to, hypothetically, ako yan si Mary Grace Piatos. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya ma-accept, no?
Yes.
Ma-admit dun sa
Well,
impeachment court.
that's the general rule na binabanggit kanina. Except lang, according to him, if the testimony of the witness is what you can call somehow a newly discovered evidence. But we have seen naman the proceedings before that Quadcom. I think everyone who can say something, especially against the vice president, already testified. All right, already testified. So uh, whether or not they still have witnesses, somehow hidden somewhere, we really do not know. But
Mm.
that is sought to be prevented precisely by the submission of the judicial affidavits of the witnesses during the pre-trial.
Kung based dun sa rules ay boboto for every article of impeachment yung mga senador individually, edi ibig sabihin, maganda pa rin talaga maraming articles of impeachment kaysa isa or dalawa lang. Dahil maraming chances para ma-convict. Hindi po ba?
Well, it will depend on the evidence eventually, Christian. Hindi naman basta-basta ganun lang. Kasi remember, if I recall kay Chief Justice Corona, were there 7 articles also or even 9?
I think mas marami.
Mas marami, but eventually, sinuko ng prosecution yung ibang yung ibang articles, meaning the specifications of the supposed violations committed by the then Chief Justice. No? So, kasi ang nangyari, remember, nag-focus doon sa SALN. So, doon sa parang the failure of the Chief Justice to disclose his real net worth, no, and that will be assets and liabilities, SALN, yes. And I don't know. I have not read, honestly, the articles of impeachment, but I understand there are 7. So to answer again your question, mas marami, mas malaki ang chance may conviction. It will again depend on proof. Ebidensya ang pinag-uusapan. Ang problema nga is baka wag naman sana pero Senate President assured everyone, all concerned parties, etc., the public, that they will remain impartial. No? Yung what we refer to in constitutional law, the impartial, the cold core neutrality of a judge. They will be impartial tribunal, no, in hearing the impeachment against the vice president.
Kaso, yun nga, that's one challenge dahil we're talking here of politicians and we're talking of the political nature as well of an impeachment trial. May ibang mga senador in the past, medyo vocal na rin sa kanilang position when it comes to the impeachment of the vice president. So, paano mangyayari yun? What do you think?
Well, an appeal made by the Senate President is that, and this is based on the rules even, that every senator should actually refrain from making his or her position public on the issue. You're not even allowed to discuss the case, the merits of the case in particular. And that is also true insofar as the parties are concerned. Pati na yung mga abogado nila, hindi sila pwedeng basta magpa-interview and discuss the merits of the case. O siraan yung depensa or rather ebidensya ng kabila as against the evidence that they will still produce. So I don't know how it will evolve, Christian, but I'm hoping that everything will be fair, everything will be just, and therefore, as promised by the Senate President himself, they will observe utmost impartiality in the resolution of the impeachment complaint eventually after hearing.
Okay. Yung attorney, based sa karanasan ninyo, no, the fact that not all senators are lawyers, di ba? Was it also a challenge? Kasi when it comes to explaining the weight of evidence that should be considered, isa rin po ba sa mga hamon yung ganun?
Well, that will actually depend on each of the senators. From our point of view, if we look at the staffing of each office of the senator or the senator, the staff of the senator, he or she is actually, surrounded by lawyers, surrounded by lawyers, assisting him or her in the throughout the process, not only the legislative process, but throughout this process. In fact, some questions that the senator may ask uh, uh, actually are given, no, are given, suggested by their staff. And one good observation was made by the Senate President earlier. No? Hindi dahil sa abogado yung lima sa amin, uh, alam na naming lahat. Okay? Alam na naming lahat. Hindi natin alam, miski hindi abogado yung nakararami sa amin, baka mas nag-aaral sila at mas alam nila kung ano yung dapat itanong o ano yung dapat na ebidensyang relevant o material for purposes of uh, you know rendering of the vote that they would want, no, as I said, either uh, conviction or acquittal. Baka nga raw mas mag-aaral pa yung mga yan dahil that's a challenge to them to be able to come out with a very judicious and well studied decision or vote on the matter.
Kasi isang iniisip na hamon dyan, attorney, di ba sa korte maliwanag, sinasabi ng judge. O kunwari, sa isang jury system, di ba? O ito lang dapat i-consider nyo na mga ebidensya na piniresenta dito sa loob ng korte during trial. Pero sa isang impeachment trial, alam natin televised. And I think compared to 2012, mas matindi yung activity on social media ngayon. Yung public discourse being affected by social media. So ang tanong ko po, gaano kalaking hamon yun? Na itong impeachment trial, televised, at anybody can comment about it and anyone could actually sway certain senator judges.
Well, let's face it, it was a challenge to us then because remember that every day we faced the media before and even after trial, mostly before the start of the trial, no? and uh, and uh, the challenge there is for us to be able to prepare well for the succeeding day. What possible questions may be asked of us on the basis of what happened in the hearing or the proceedings of the previous day. And while we, as much as possible, we avoided any question discussing about the merit because that was even prohibited then. Because it's sub judice, and you cannot talk about the merits of the case. Uh, Outside of the impeachment court, the senators and the lawyers, parties themselves cannot talk about the merits of the case. However, we do not have control, even the impeachment court does not have control of what those in media uh, and now social media will say. There are what you call bloggers there, and what they say about, say, favoring one over the other or vice versa. Uh, what can we do about that? I mean, it's beyond us, beyond those defending, beyond those prosecuting, and beyond the Senate sitting as an impeachment court. Hindi mo makokontrol yan. Okay? They may issue a warning, but I think for most part they may not be listened to by those concerned. No? So yun ang mahirap yan.
Mm. So I suppose malaking bagay na dapat paghandaan dito ng both parties ay yung tinatawag na managing the communication aspect of the trial.
Alam mo, hindi naman ako, I mean, let's be realistic about it. I would like to think that each side, whether the prosecution or the defense, no, uh, may mga kwan yan, may mga PR consultants yan. And
Yeah.
then, having them on their side, and then the program that they will implement simply to, palabasin yung talagang yung pabor doon sa kliyente nila, palalabasin nila yan one way or the other. Alam mo na kung paano ang trabaho ng isang PR consultant. Ginagawa nila ang dapat magawa within the limits of the law, hopefully, to be able to convince the public, first of all, and sway indirectly the vote that may eventually be cast by the senator judges.
How many defense lawyers are allowed in an impeachment court or trial po?
There is no specific number under the rules, but I would like to think that for as many, for as long as during the proceedings, only one has to be recognized. Okay, only one has to be recognized. It cannot be everyone, interposing an objection. It cannot be that. That will be disorderly for purposes of an orderly proceeding and a smooth proceeding during the hearings.
I remember ng panahon po ninyo, of course, ang lead counsel was the late Justice Serafin Cuevas. Pero meron kayo kanya-kanyang toka, no? In terms of the articles of impeachment.
No. What happened, at least as far as I recall, is on a particular witness to be presented.
Okay, witness.
Yeah, so on a per witness basis, we were given the assignment. Pero kami ni Dean Tranquil Salvador and even Karen Jimeno and eventually Rico, who replaced me in some of the engagements with your colleagues then in the media, were also spokespersons, so to speak. So doble yung trabaho namin. Nakaupo kami as defense counsel during the trial. At the same time, we have to prepare. We have to prepare for possible questions that the answers to which we were not even ready to and prepared. No? So malaking challenge yon to me, and that eats up a lot of energy because there you're not only convincing the 24 sitting senators, sitting as judges, but you're convincing the public. So, mahirap yun.
Kaya nga yan, di ba, attorney? I remember, doon sa mga viewers, no, kasi kinover ko from start to finish yung corona impeachment trial in 2012. Malaking bagay din yan, of course, yung imahe. At saka, of course, ang tawag ko rin, shock and awe. Diba? Kasi a big part of it is performance. Diba?
Yes.
Tama po ba?
Tama ka, Christian. Hindi naman kasing lamya-lamya ka doon. Hindi mo pinakikinggan, hindi mo sinusundan kung anong nangyayari. Kasi maraming very observant na at least sa gallery pa lang, makikita mo na yan, sa labas pa. Okay, sa labas pa. At ang problema nga, yung mga nasa labas, meron din namang bilang yung alam mo na kung saan sila pro or against the impeached public officer, the impeached official, and again political bias will come in, will play a great role, no? Kaya prejudice na rin yung kanilang pagtingin dun sa proseso at what will be the outcome that they will be the result of the proceedings.
Kasi speaking of shock and awe, di ba, in the past, I think they floated the idea of former President Rodrigo Duterte lawyering for his daughter sa impeachment.
Yes.
So that would have been a shock and awe moment. Dahil dating presidente at kung titingnan natin yung naging huling pagpunta niya dyan sa Senado, tameme yung karamihan sa mga senador. So pag naglagay ka ng Duterte dyan, miski hindi naman siya ganun ka articulate, pero yung ano, di ba, yung dating, that can also help the cause of Sara. What do you think?
Yes, yes. Well, I don't know. I will just assume that it is within the right of the vice president to obtain or at least request his father uh, to appear for her. And then the husband is also a lawyer, no, practicing
Mm.
lawyer. The father-in-law is a practicing lawyer. She herself, no, is a lawyer. Now, but I would like to think that sabi nga ng iba kung may sakit ka, hindi mo gagamutin yung sarili mo, kukuha ka ng ibang doktor. O kung meron kang kaso, hindi ikaw abogado ka, may kaso ka, hindi ka mag-abogado sa sarili mo. Di ba? Kukuha ka talaga ng iba na who can really be very objective and therefore, in a way, dispassionate about approaching a given issue and therefore suggesting to the client the best course or best courses of action that will have to be taken.